Hello, guys. It's James, and we are back for our round two betting tips. Not a bad start so far. Like, I would say this is our best start we've ever had. I've said plenty of times, and you guys who have been watching for the last couple of years, thank you. But you will also have noticed March has notoriously been like just the worst round of betting. It's the worst. The bookies give you the shittest odds. There's a lot of players that you got to keep an eye on for positional changes because someone who might be super consistent before is now in some dead role. Teams change. Someone who you think is going to be top four could fallen off. Some team who spent a lot of money on players could be struggling, but it's all early, so we've got to wait till the dust has settled because it's always the hardest. March, and just for anyone new here or is new to betting or has no idea what's going on, I just cannot stress that enough. March has always been the hardest. If you don't understand that, I feel like you're new to footy or new to betting. So, we've always peaked later on in the year, and to be positive, like this far, like this much in the first two rounds, opening round and round one, is insane. And just remember, we only have to win 30% of the bets because we'll always flip the bonus bet. We'll have it here. Just quickly, a 30-second recap. If we do $3 odds for 9 games around, we only have to win 33% of the bets, which is 3 games a week for this to happen. We only won 3 games and we get up $280, and that's also flipping the bonus bet. So let's go into the recap. Oh, and when you miss, I'm so sick of these one posi misses. But anyway, Elijah Hollins sat on the ball with like 20 seconds to go. Could have got a handball out, but I get it with the game in the line. He didn't choose to handball it out, so that's fine. I'd still bet on him again, but against Richmond, I thought he would be much higher chance of hitting. Jack Ross started early. Sam Banks looked great. Harry Mackay, I don't mind the occasional full forward bet, especially if it's only like 10 or 12 posies. So just hit. And James Tresize, he hit very late in the end. Well, actually late for him because then he hit and then was taken off and put on the bench. So anyway, I'll keep this quick because it's just me yapping, and I kind of like to just talk about the misses. What could have been a miss, Archie Roberts. For anyone who had this bet or didn't see it, look what happened to Archie Roberts in the last 20 seconds of the game. Soccer off the ground, went into someone's foot. Was it Dylan Moore or someone? Or Jack Ginnivan? And then Archie Roberts took the kick in with that new lasso rule. And holy heck, I've never seen a bet like finish like that before. If someone's 2 posies away with 20 seconds left, there is no chance. The bet is done. But Archie Roberts got 2 posies in the last couple of seconds. So that was great. Fiorini, I was very bullish on. He was free money. I'll have to check what his odds are this coming week. But yeah, Connor Nash has been good. And Redmond, I did the late change. I don't know if you guys read the comments, but I was bullish on McGrath, but then I remembered McGrath's stats are inflated because he played a lot of that on the in the midfield, whereas Mason Redmond was the kick-out king, and he took a lot of kick-outs in that game. He took 11, so that's wild. So he was, to me, just an absolute no-brainer, especially with Hawthorn prepped to bounce back after their bad loss against GWS the week before. And because we lost the first bet, this is what happens. It's nothing crazy, nothing. You don't have to break any brain cells. You just do the exact same bet, bonus bet onto this one, and then that's how we're able to get such a good profit just from winning 3 bets. So remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Bet 3, which was the Doggies Giants game. Lockie Whitfield left it very late. But he's been very consistent. Harry Himmelberg had reduced game time because he got that knock to the chin. His was to the chin, I think. So he got that split open, patched up, came back on. But thank God he already hit because otherwise that would have been a bit of a struggle. Bailey Williams having a great start to the season. Sam Darcy, another forward. Dude, I love anyone who hadn't bet before. You guys aren't used to... Oh, sorry, that's bad. For us who've been betting a while, we've only had the 15... 20, 25 posi bracket. Do you know how good it is to have like the 10, the 12 posi bracket? It just opens up so many more options who you're able to bet on. So happy there to get Darcy and Bont. We bet on Bont after he got 19 against Brisbane Lions. So great for him to bounce back. And because in that game for the Lions, Bont had to play a lot in the forward line. But yeah, for this game, I was positive he was going to be playing just pure on ball. Yeah, anyway, so that one hit. No bonus bet to put into it. Game 4 was a close miss. Hayden Young, who looked great early. Look, I knew he was going to have slightly reduced minutes. I also knew he would be playing in the forward line. But what was just so unlucky was that it was way longer than I was thinking. And he got, a couple of touches after half time. So it was barely any. So his time on ground was still 77%, which is actually not too bad. But yeah, it just really dried up because he was playing in the forward line. And that's just when Geelong made their comeback. So yeah, very rough there, but yeah, super unlucky. Ollie Dempsey hit. Carl Warner, who I was bullish on early, touted to have a good start to the year, especially with no Luke Ryan. Now we can't get him for those odds anymore. Bolton, yeah, can have those little spurt games, but he's been pretty consistent since being at Freo. And Brian Myers is just one of the best half forward entry kicks players going around. So yeah, that one was good. Game 5, which is Sydney versus Brisbane. I fucking sat through this whole thing. Yeah, that was very rough. So, Jake Lloyd, like, what an absolute outlier of a game. I went and checked. I think that was like his lowest posse game since like his first or second year of footy. That was just like atrocious for his standards. And on a game where Sydney haven't won for so long on the wing, you'd think you'd have plenty of opportunities. Yeah, so that one was super unlucky. Jake Lloyd, who actually did bounce back last night or the night before, Thursday night. So yeah, never had those bad back-to-back games. But yeah, like you just can't help for that. You can't help. I think, I should have this up. I've actually included this. So Jake Lloyd was 9 out of 10. He had missed once. No, he had missed twice in the last like year and a bit. So like, what can you do about that? Just an absolute outlier stinker of a game. And Jared Berry had to go to his old role. He hasn't done this for years, where he's had to play like a decent tagging role, and he was doing that on Isaac Heaney. The game was slipping away from Brisbane pretty early, so they made the change. Oh, well, because Berry usually plays on the wing, or always plays on the wing, and he hasn't had to tag since that like famous tag game against Clayton Oliver in the finals of like 2022, I think it was. But yeah, had to tag Heaney to try and stop the bleeding, but it was too little too late. So I'm actually bullish on Berry going forward because I don't think he'll do that tagging role unless the circumstances are very dire. But yeah, hadn't seen it for a while, so wasn't expecting that, but wouldn't have hit anyway with Jake Lloyd stinking up so bad. Jasper Fletcher just hit, still bullish on him. Blakey and Mills look great there in the back line. So bet 6, which was Collingwood, Adelaide. I missed this game, so I missed Darcy Fogarty stink it up in the first half, but him and Keys were, close in the end in the second half. But Ben Keys, someone I used to bet on for the 15 posse bracket, but he's just not that player. Forward pocket, runs hard, gets dogged by his teammates a lot. I swear to God, he's open so often, but they just don't kick it to him. So we actually bet him for the 12 posse bracket last night, and he hit that one. So yeah, otherwise Dawson, Just, Worrell was fantastic. It's going to be hard. The thing is, like, it's going to be hard now because we used to bet on Worrell so much last year, but because, just not used to him getting 20 plus consistently. So his odds versus which bracket he's going to be in is going to be a hard thing to weigh up. Braden Maynard just hit as well. So anyway, very unlucky end to our Saturday, but going into the Sunday, because that bet lost, boom, that's that bonus bet strategy. Look, every time you're betting on this, you should look to have those bonus bets. There's that many bookies available, and they all offer shit like this. I just stick with Ladbrokes and Neds. So, again, the bonus bet is not free money. It's not something to just chuck on a crazy 10, 20 odd multi. It's just to do on the exact same bet. You don't have to double up on players. You're adding risk if you do that, so just keep it on the same bet. Tom Powell, yeah, great. I was worried he was going to play a little bit wing, but Joe Simpkins seems to have that locked down. Kane Farrell, Kane Farrell just doesn't seem to have that hunger in him to rack it up anymore. Like, Kane Farrell used to take out so many kickouts and just get a bunch of the footy, especially right after Houston left, and then before Connor Rosie really cemented himself down back. But now Marshall's there, so he's taking kickouts. Logan Evans is taking kickouts. I don't know. Kane Farrell did hit, but just maybe someone to keep an eye on. Finn O'Sullivan, another close finish. He got the last 2 posies with 30 seconds to go. I think he got that handball and then a mark with just burning clock. So holy heck, he got that mark and then kick with a couple of seconds to go, and there was absolute chaos. That was so funny in the Discord. He got 15 posies, but half the bookies weren't paying it out because on the stat sheet it said 14 because I hadn't clicked over. So I think the AFL stat sheet was lagging for like what felt like an eternity, but we finally got that one paid out. That was wild. Burgoyne and Richards, yeah, small posi brackets and did what they need to do. So, yeah, not bad to start the Sunday, but unfortunately the rest of the Sunday games are pretty rough. Trent Rivers, again, we can see down here, 7 out of 10, so not too bad. But one thing I wasn't expecting was his 58% time on ground. What is that? Trent Rivers averaged 80% time on ground last year. He's got to be sick or something because why would he? He's playing State of Origin as well, right? He's a good player. You know, he butchers a little bit, but you can have your opinion about him. But he's a good player, especially in Melbourne's team. 58% time on ground. Like, something is wrong there. So he was the second lowest time on ground for Melbourne, behind Harry Sharp, who has been used as a sub in the past. So, yeah, super unlucky about Trent Rivers. I'm bullish on him to bounce back, but like, yeah, was he sick? What's going on there? Because there's no way they would put like Latrell Pickett and Tom Sparrow, who got 6 posies, more time on ground than Trent Rivers. It doesn't make sense. The flip side of that is he got 16 posies in half a game of footy. So keep that in mind. I don't think that low time on ground happens again, but yeah, we'll see. And it's just really annoying because a lot of the bullish picks that I was on, like Windhager remaining a non-tagger, Caleb Windsor to start the year with a bang, like there's so many picks that you can just nail, and then just something out of nowhere happens. Like 58% time on ground. Are you kidding me? So that's what it is with betting. That's what it is. And sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you get all-Australian ruckman who gets 2 posies and a half of footy against a guy who's played 3 games of footy. But Tim English last night for anyone. But we'll talk about that next week. Christian Petrarca just missed, but this game, Tom Cole, he's dropped, omitted, what a bum. So 9 out of 10, he was averaging the most over his posi bracket. Yeah, that was such a poor game from him, so he's not playing this week. And when he was on, I don't know, like 4 posies, 5 posies at halftime, I can turn that shit off. I usually watch every game of footy, but it's so one-sided like that, and the bet is done. Like, yeah, I feel like I can stop watching. So I didn't see Christian Petrarca just miss, but I knew Tom Cole was going to be miles off. Got Ben King for 3 goals. Ryan Marrick, who was actually dropped. I like Ryan Marrick. I think he's a great kick, but just mustn't be doing the team thing. So, yeah, he's omitted, which is unlucky. Will Powell getting more minutes in the midfield. So, yeah, we expected that. So, happy to bet on him. All right, let's get our games ready for Saturday. So, our first game of Saturday is Richmond versus Gold Coast. So we've actually had to go a couple here just because the odds are so fucking bad. So the odds for these Saturday games, the Sunday game's actually okay, but I just don't have time to do it. Sorry, my webcam's a bit off from when I've been doing this with Jono. But the odds are just awful. So we've had to go 6 legs instead of 5, but I feel like these guys as safe as we can be. And that's Tresice for 10, Jack Ross for 16, Will Powell for 16, Banks for 18, John Noble for 20, and Jacob Hopper for 20. So Tresice is just doing everything he needs to do, and it's for 10 posies. Last week we had him for 12. He's gone down a bracket. I think it's because Nick Vlosten is brought back into the side, but even still, Tresice was hitting with or without Vlosten. We'll speak about Vlosten in a sec. Jack Ross. Oh, there's 2 people I want to speak about. Maybe I do it right now. Well, so no, it's Vlosten and Dion Prestia, but we'll get to it. Jack Ross started off really slow, but came home strong. 10 out of 10, averaging 6 more posies than what we need to. He's great. Yes, he's going up against Gold Coast. Gold Coast probably like top 4 side this year, but I still think the midfielders are every chance. There's going to be stoppages. There's going to be ball ups. There's going to be goals kicked. There's always a chance for a midfielder to get the footy. That being said, as well as for Will Powell, who was one of the sort of more shutdown defenders in Gold Coast team, but we've seen he's been playing a lot of midfield. It was predicted in the preseason, so we've been betting on him for the last couple of weeks, and it's been working out well. So although he's 8 out of 10, his first 2 games for the year are 19 and 20, 100% hit rate. His last couple of games against Richmond have all been hits but one, and that was 1 posi when he's playing a shutdown defending role. So I like Will Powell in the middle. Sam Banks, not like he's looking great. So number 6 on his back now. I think it's number 6. Doing everything I expect him to do, taking kickouts, running up the ground, providing an option. Yeah, Jacob Short is looking great. I was looking at the kickouts and I saw Jane Short. Sam Banks has taken the 3rd most kickouts. Ben Miller took 4. I don't expect that to continue. I think Sam Banks should be taking a bit more than that. Yeah, anyway. Johnny Noble, we saw against the one-sided game for West Coast last week that it doesn't matter if Gold Coast are pumping a team. Their backman can still get a lot of the footy. Joel Jeffrey did, Bodie Hewland did, Johnny Noble. So I like Johnny Noble the most out of those. He takes the most kickouts, although Hewland has at the moment. Johnny Noble is the most hungriest. Like, he's the one who sort of runs, works, provides an option, whereas Hewland, Rioli are kind of, they're fine to point and just play on their man. Yeah, John Noble is the hungriest out of those guys. And Jacob Hopper, who missed 18 posies last week. Yep, he's 0% to start the year, but he was 96% last year. 22 out of 23. He has hit in his last 4 games against Gold Coast. I think Jacob Hopper has to bounce back and get 20 posies. I just think, yeah, 18 posies against Carlton, not great. But this is a bloke who'll be playing in the midfield for the whole day, who's got runs on the board from previous years. You just got to go with what he's done in the past. So I really like that one, albeit it's 6 legs. So yeah, it's a lot of legs, but yeah, still same odds, same rationale. So yeah, that's that pick. Tresice in the 10 posi bracket. We'll quickly go through the rest. Nathan Broad, I actually don't mind. I was tossing up between him and Tresice, but yeah, Tresice has been just too consistent to pass up one. Like 10 out of 10, averaging 5 more. And he just hit last week. I'm expect for the 10 posi bracket. Yeah, I think that's what sold me. Maybe if Nathan Broad was also in the 10, but anyway, so that's an option there. In the 14 plus, Grill, who looked great in his first game, had some run and carry, took some daring options on, looked great, exactly what Richmond need. Very close to including him. No reason why, other than that was his first game. Maybe I want to see more, but yeah, I really liked Grill. And we saw it from like Jax last night. What's his first name? Is it Lockie or Jax, the Western Bulldogs player? He, like, no matter how good they sort of look in the first game or two, you got to remember these are still rookies. They can have quiet games. Where is it? I think, did he still hit? Jax, hold on. Sorry, usually when Jono's here, I can take a moment to check these stats. He got 16 posies, and I'm pretty sure Jax had back-to-back like high score, or he came off a big 20-something posi game last week. So the rookies are just going sort of here and here in between which bracket they belong into. So until they kind of just settle and they find their nice bracket, because for all we know, maybe Grill averages 18 posies for the year. Maybe he averages 12. I think that's a bit of the roll of the dice, and there's a couple other players here who I think safer before I'd pick Grill. Bailey Humphries, I think Gold Coast will potentially win this by, like, I don't know, 50 points or something, and to have an electric bull who's going to probably kick 3 or 4 goals, who has shown he works really well with Petrarca, I think is very tempting. Just doesn't quite have that buffer or high ceiling. Like, even in the games where he's kicked a bag, he's barely just hitting the bracket, so that was the concern there. Toby Dankervis, albeit the stats look amazing, I'm so off Ruckman. I was off Ruckman before Tim English last night, but I was like, it is just too glaringly obvious. Like, one of the best Ruckman this year versus a dude who's played 3 games. I thought English would hit. If that doesn't happen, I don't know. With these new rules, I just don't like Ruckman at the moment. But yeah, he got 21 posies against Mark Pitney, so if you want to take that Nankervis one, go for it. In the 15 posi bracket, Nick Vlaston. So Nick Vlaston didn't play round 1 because of poor conditioning. And it might sound harsh, but I think he was coming off an ankle or something. So I don't think it's like, oh, Nick Vlaston was fat and unfit, so he didn't play. I just think by the time he had healed, and you can't run on a broken foot, so by the time he could actually get back to training, I just think he just wasn't fully ready. So I was very tempted to include him, but what we've seen recently with the no sub rule, doesn't matter if there's no sub, players will still get reduced minutes. And if his reasoning was for not making round 1 due to poor conditioning, like what does that scream? He's going to get reduced minutes and work his way back into it. So albeit the stats, they look amazing, I just feel like some 55, 60% time on ground bullshit is going to happen. So yeah, that's why I just didn't include the old boy. There's another one I'll speak about, but oh, actually, he's right next to it as well. I'll just hit them both off. Dion Prestia too, doing the hamstring. Like, Richmond are in no position to try and just win these games, I guess, especially against Gold Coast. It's MCG. Yeah, if they win, great. There's a very, very small chance. But yeah, Dion Prestia and Nick Vlosten to me just scream low time on ground. Even though I've highlighted Prestia in the next category, like the stats just look so good. But I'm just worried. And we saw like Jack Ross, Sam Laylor, a lot of those boys, as well as obviously Taranto and Hopper, all take the midfield. So does Prestia just slot in there as a 33-year-old who's notoriously done hammies and like coming off a court case and stuff? So I don't know. It just a lot of uncertainty with those two. But that being said, all it would take is for one game just to help ease that certainty. Nick Vlosten, let's say if he does get 60% time on ground, I'm bullish on him the week after. Once he's just got like, you know, a game under his belt, I'll feel a lot better about that pick. Alex Davies, who you can see, look at all like the red squares around him. So that indicates low time on ground. I exclude anything below 40% because usually that's like an injury or something. Anything between 40 and 65% is they're getting benched because they have a bad tank. And that's Alex Davies. Damien Hardwick said it on like AFL 360 that they have to manage him because he can't run out games. But 15 posies for someone playing purely in the midfield. So if you want to take that risk, knowing that he's going to get benched a lot, he's going to be around the footy a lot against a kind of weak mid. So anyway, I don't mind the pick there. Daniel Rioli, yeah, sure. I mean, he was the defender who didn't hit against West Coast. So you highlight because of the runs on the board, but are you that confident? Probably not. And yeah, Grill, who I'm very bullish on, but we'll see where he lands. 16 posi bracket, Jack Ross. I've just included him, 10 out of 10. He had 4 misses for the year last year. He's averaging well above his posi bracket. Looked good in 3/4 of the game last week, so he picks himself. Will Powell spoken about. Ewan, yeah, he has almost like taken another level. Well, so far, because he's got 19 and 24 posies, both in pretty one-sided games for Gold Coast, and I'm surprised how much footy he's getting. Yeah, usually he's the one who just doesn't care about his posies. He'll get 10 or 12 or something because you've got Rioli. Back then you also had Will Powell, but he's now in the midfield. Joel Jeffrey, Johnny Noble. But yeah, Bodie Ewan seems to be racking it up still. So I don't mind the pick, but I'm just used to seeing Ewan not get much of it. So anyway, keep that in mind. On to the 18 and 20. Jaden Short is very close to like the price that I would like. He's come off a big game, but Sam Banks has been way more consistent, and I love to see that. Same candidates keep appearing. Ross, Will Power. There's not much value elsewhere. Yes, Dion Prestia, 9 out of 10. Same with Vlosten. Like I've said, I'm just going to reiterate. I just feel like they're going to get managed. I don't want that. I don't want to bet on them, and then I see him on the bench like every third goal. So just keep that in mind. 20 posi bracket. Johnny Noble and Jacob Hopper. Jacob Hopper missed 1 game last year. I really think he can bounce back from an 18 posi game last week. Johnny Noble, great defender back there. So yeah, looks very hungry. Spoken about again. Sam Banks. Petrarca, I tempted to include, not going to lie. So, but the 23 against West Coast, I was expecting more. I was expecting a 25 to 30 posi game. But yeah, we can kind of see that's just gone to Noah Ainsworth. Obvious, right? Noah Ainsworth, I think, is going to get a lot of the footy. He's an accumulator. But I thought Christian Petrarca, who's more kind of like, I was going to say Bond, but Bond's getting so much of the footy recently. Christian Petrarca is more your 20 posi, 2-3 goal type player. So just thought against the downhill skiing, he has a better chance of getting 25. But Yeah, maybe if it was this price for 20, I'd be locking him in. But 22, it's still kind of tempting. Also, he's got that new life at Gold Coast, so even though this game's back in Melbourne, but anyway, so not much options here in the 25. Christian Petrarca, if he didn't do it against West Coast, I'm not that bullish on him for this one. Noah Anderson at $1.06, wild times. And then, yeah, the goal scorers, only one I'm really keen on, and it's the guys we're speaking of, Petrarca. He's kicked 3 goals and 4 goals in his first games for Gold Coast, so I think he's a great chance. Tom Lynch, if there was a category to bet on behinds, fuck, I'd put all my money on him. But yeah, it's very hard to bet on a goal scorer for a team you think is going to get whacked. So there's that. And Ben King, we got him for 3 goals last week against West Coast. I'd almost be tempted to do it again. He's gone 4 goals and 5 goals to start the year. So yeah, I mean, I could highlight Ben King. I'd be tempted to. Yeah, anyway, so that's the first game of the Saturday. If we go on to game 4, we have GWS versus St Kilda. Yeah, this one we could thankfully get it back down to 5 legs, but fuck, the options that we're finding in this, we're literally sieving through shit. There's so many poor options, but let me go through the ones I picked. Hugo Garcia for 14, Harry Himmelberg for 15, Windhager and Oliver for 22, and then Lockie Whitfield for 25. So, Hugo Garcia, right, if I go to the CBAs for St Kilda, who do you expect in the CBAs? You know, you're thinking Naz, you're thinking Flanders. But if we go to St Kilda's leading CBA attendance getters, Hugo Garcia at 60%. So obviously you take out Tom de Koning for the ruckman. He's there all the time. Hugo Garcia has been there the most. And that is so many opportunities. High scoring games of footy. We've never seen so many center throw-ups. So I just think that is fantastic to have a guy for 14 posies who is going to be just around the ball a lot of the day. So I really like that one for Hugo Garcia. Harry Himmelberg came off early with the busted chin. So 15 posie bracket for a guy who could have easily got 19, 20 posies again. But you can see he's got that little red border. So he had less than 65% time on ground. And it's great to understand why. If anyone watched the game, he was fine. He just came off with a cut on his chin. Looks pretty bad. But yeah, if he is fit, he's good to play again. Yeah, he can be getting around 19, 20 posies, I reckon. So love that Harry Himmelberg pick. I could almost bet on him for the 16 posie bracket. Marcus Windhager, he was on Cozzy Pickett for a little bit last weekend, but I've been very bullish on this kid. When he's not tagging, he's a beast. So 29 and 32 possessions to start the year. Both of those against Nick Dacos and Cozzy Pickett. Both of them were very winnable games for him, and they butchered both of them. So if Ross Lyon isn't going to be using Windhager as a tag then, when is he? I don't think he will anytime soon. And until then, I see Windhager go back to a hard shutdown tag. That's when I'll worry about it. For now, his form when he's not a tagger is unreal. Averaging 5 more posies than what he needs to, up to 22. He's playing so good off the half back line and sort of around stoppages. Yeah, Windhager is great. And also now, Nazaio Wangani Miller has just gone, fucking around, playing in the forward line, going on ball, doing whatever he wants to do. It's freed up Windhager in the back line there, so it's been fantastic. Clayton Oliver, who's been a washed-up bum in the past, but 26 posi games back-to-back. He is someone who will just get the short, little shit, dinky handball, little soccer off the ground. I don't care. Clayton Oliver has high posi games. I don't care what he's getting for Supercoach or how efficient his posies are. He touches the footy a lot. And obviously with the no Tom Green, GWS are looking to bounce back after their awful game last week against the Doggies. Yeah, I really like Clayton Oliver at the Giants. And Lockie Whitfield, yeah, I'd say it's a bit quiet to start the year, 27-25, but consistent as they come, knows where to make an option. When the Giants are switching the play, famous for the tsunami, how they'll just try and get the ball rolling. Before they get it rolling, they'll usually look for one of their good kickers in Lockie Whitfield or Lockie Ash. Or if they're chipping around slowly, Whitfield always provides an option. And without being said, he takes a lot of the kickouts. So yeah, Lockie Whitfield for 25, I think is great. Even though, yeah, he just hit last week, I'm still keen to ride Lockie Whitfield. All right, for the 10 posi bracket, garbage. let's move on. All right, 12 posi bracket. Like, Ryan Angwin, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm actually noticing more and more because someone I'd never really bet on, but I keep seeing Ryan Angwin pop up. So 12 posi bracket, 9 out of 10. Yeah, sure. It's kind of tempting. Xavier O'Halloran, so I'd expect, like, he got low time on ground in the first game and then 13 posies in that demolition when they got demolished against the Doggies. So I actually don't mind it. Someone who's going to be around centre bounce attendances and have 12 posies, yeah, is pretty good. But I don't think he had many CBAs. Yeah, no, he had 16% last week, so next to nothing. But that's fine. If someone's playing forward pocket, I mean, 12 is still usually achievable. So yeah, don't mind Xavier O'Halloran. Probably be on the wing and high half forward. Jake Riccardi, I had to highlight because he is looking really good. 17 and 19 posies. And look at that 19. He played about 55% time on ground or something. He seems to be sharing the role with Briggs. Briggs looks really washed up, but Jake Riccardi is playing monster games. And if his first 2 games, I know this one isn't highlighted, but he's been having low time on ground, I think he's only going up. So I just wanted to mention that one. Just keep an eye on Jake Riccardi. He's been looking very good to start the year, playing ruck instead of just hiding in the forward line. 14 posi bracket, Hugo Garcia we spoke about, getting a bunch of centre bounce attendances. I like to see. Tom De Koning, yeah, I think against Briggs, he's a very decent chance. He's gone 20 and 15 posies, so he looks good. Marshall's back, so he might lose a couple of ruck contests because of that. But yeah, I still think your $1.7 million man should be getting 14 posies. So yeah, don't mind it. Not many other options here. Let's go to the 15. Max Hall pops up, but he's someone who I would much rather bet on. Like, David King, a lot of the blokes in the commentary are absolutely raving about Max Hall, and he has been great. But I just think, yeah, he's back half of the year. Last year was really good. Coming off a 26 posi game, looked amazing, super damaging. But I'm just saying, I just feel like I can't bet on him for that because I just know someone like, in that position behind all the other talent in St Kilda could easily have a 10 or 12 posi game. If he was, maybe a little bit better value or in the 14 posi bracket, yeah, I'd maybe include him. Don't get me wrong, I was very tempted to. I like it, but one of the things, I'm not a huge fan of betting on someone right after their best game. I mean, you can kind of see it down here in the back end. He got 27 and then had a 15 posi game the week before. So he just had a 26 posi game. He could easily have a 14 or a 15. And those forward players are usually a little bit inconsistent like that. So keep that in mind. Harry Himmelberg, love it down there. Hugo Garcia we spoke about. Onto the 16. Joe Fonte, really spiked, looking great in the defense there for GWS. Might be some of the reason why Whitfield isn't getting as much footy, but yeah, no, Fonte's looking great, but I just want to see a little bit more. He's only hit 3 times, last year and twice this year, so yeah, he's really shot up. So I'm happy to just let that sail until we really can find which bracket he's going to settle into. Caniglio, too old, too slow. I just don't like it at all. So, I mean, yeah, there's an option there with the reduced mid-minutes. Oh, sorry, with Tom Green being out. Toby Green, I probably missed the boat on. So, I mean, what is he for 18 posies? Toby Green, $1.35. So, yeah, he's gone 20 and 26. He's getting the most centre bounce attendances, 72%. You know what? I might just highlight Toby Green. I do like it. That 5 out of 10 is not looking great, but yeah, his 3-game form is about to peak. I do like Toby Green there, especially has to play the captain's role, step up into the midfield. Yeah, no, I like Toby Green there. He's not that little forward pocket this year, so yeah, don't mind Toby. Let's go on to the 20 posi bracket. Clayton Oliver, almost great value for 20. But just getting for a bit better value at 22, where he's still hitting almost just as much. Windhager, spoke about these guys. If there's anyone else, Wanganeen Miller, man, if you were betting on the unders for Wanganeen Miller to start the year, you would be very happy. So probably one of those things you just miss in hindsight. Like if he's playing more of a forward role, he's getting less of the footy. So, but obviously with the media scrutiny at the moment that he's copping, is he going to go back to sort of the halfback or midfield role? Because right now he's obviously got the license to go wherever, and it's kind of hurting him. And not to mention he's also getting a tag, so he can't do what he wants every week. But I just feel like he needs to stick in a role, stick in a position at the moment for me to want to bet on him again before he's for the posi bracket. Also, whatever I'm saying as well, just a reminder, this is for betting. This is for the brackets that I look at. This is not like maybe Wanganeen Miller should stay back in the half-back line because that's not going to be better for him. Wanganeen Miller just needs to work with the tag and play wherever on the ground because he does look great in the forward line. He could win a game for St. Well, he has won a game for St. Kilda doing that. So, yeah, I'm just purely speaking about from betting disposal point of view. So, I just don't like it where he's roaming around with the tag, sitting in the forward line and all that sort of stuff. So, just want to distinguish that. That's why I'm not liking Wanganeen Miller, just for posies at the moment anyway. So, 25, Lockie Whitfield, always makes an option. Spoke about that. Great. Jack Sinclair, probably as a result to Wanganeen Miller just going wherever he wants. He is absolutely flourishing. Going off halfback, around the stoppages, on ball, getting so much of it. 33 posies in his last 3 games. 100% hit rate for the year. His last couple against GWS, he's just had 1 miss there by 22. So, yeah, Jack Sinclair, again, I was very tempted to include. 25 is a lot, and if I'm doing 25, I've gone Lockie Whitfield. I don't think I'll do usually 2 25 posi bracket players. So if I was to do one or the other, it's Lockie Whitfield, but yeah, Sinclair was very close to being picked. If he was $1.20, you know, for 22, yeah, he'd be in. Goals, just Cooper Sharman, but I mean, yeah, he's coming off a miss last week, so every chance he can kick one, but yeah, it's not that tempting. Jake McCarty's kicked a couple. Toby Green playing mid. Nazai playing in the forward line. But I just don't know what his proper role is other than just a free license to go wherever. So, yeah. Because he's taking kickouts as well. So, yeah, anyway, that's the game. Last one for Saturday. Let's go to the Freo and Melbourne game. Game number 5. So, we have here Josh Tracy for 10, Bolton for 15, Neil Erasmus for 16, Christian Salem for 20, and Andy Brayshaw for 22. So, fuck, you're going to see the options in this game are just putrid. The blokes that I've got here in the bet is pretty much all I could pick from this. Josh Tracy, the big kahuna, 10 posies. His last 2 misses have been 9. I think Freo... From what John Longmuir said, Freo just needed that extra game and they probably would have beaten Geelong. So now that they've had that extra game, I feel like they'll be able to beat Melbourne comfortably, be able to hold on to that lead. And Josh Tracy in the forward line there, like every chance. He's clunking marks. He looks really good. He's up here. Jai Amos is like, yeah, Josh Tracy is just, the confidence is up here. Same with Paddy Voss. So yeah, I'd much rather go on Josh Tracy. I don't mind that. A full forward for 10 posies in a game where I think Freo are going to play really well at Optus. No one in the 12 posi bracket. Tom Sparrow had an all-time stinker last week, and he was getting a lot of midfield minutes in the pracky matches, and that just fucking went to shit in the real thing. So anyway, 14 posi bracket. Have a look. No one. Real slim pickings right now. What are we going to bet on Cade Chandler for 14? Like, that's a tall order. God, this is rough. Anyway, 15. Matty Johnson's just popping up. His misses have been 14 posies. So, yeah, I was tempted to include him. One of the wingers there with, Erasmus and Johnson and O'Driscoll. So, yeah, every chance. Like, what... Fuck, it's the pickings are so rough. Shai Bolton, who we've said who can have real big, maybe 20 posi games, but then also have single-digit posi games. I think at home at Optus Stadium, yeah, I reckon he's a great chance. He got 16 at GMHBA against Geelong, so yeah, I think he can continue that form. He only missed 4 games last year. I don't think he gets many CBAs, just from memory. He gets a couple. How many did he get against? Yeah, he had the 9. So yeah, roughly 25%. So I don't mind that, but I'm not expecting him to hit because of all those CBAs, because he works all right around the ground. 16 posi bracket, Murphy Reed. Like, these are the players I got to highlight now. I got to highlight players based on hype. So, yeah, your high half forward, he's definitely showing something. I'll give him that. But I know a lot of the people from WA are very bullish on Murphy Reed and just exploding and stuff, rising star. But, yeah, it's just hard to see him in that 16 posi bracket because, I mean, look what he went for last year. He was 33%, 8 out of 24. He's definitely got it in him. Yeah, no, I do like Murphy Reed. I've highlighted for a reason. It's just, I've seen him, just have low numbers before. So I don't expect the second year to really average 18, 19, 20 posies, which is what he's doing. But yeah, I'd like more of a buffer is what I'm getting at for someone running off the half forward line and a bit of wing. Neil Erasmus, he looked real explosive, really good early. I think he kicked a goal from memory or set one up or something. But yeah, he was great. And so the thing is, Neil Erasmus usually has low time on ground or has been a sub risk. And with that option out of the way and him not getting low time on ground in the first game, I think has just given me a bit of confidence in him. Because he's someone who I've wanted to bet on in the past, but could get subbed off. But yeah, he's shown it's only one game, but I think low time on ground shouldn't be an issue. And again, what other options are you going to pick? So if you don't like Neil Erasmus, maybe you could go Xavier Lindsay. So someone is he in his second year as well, usually playing wing, but he's gone down to the defense. I assume because no Jake Bowie. Took a couple of kickouts, looking good. So yeah, I mean Christian Salem is the kick-out pig back there, so I don't expect Lindsay to go too big. So I think the 15, 14 posi bracket is where he should be, but we can only get him for 16, so he's an option. But yeah, I mean, there's not many options. Trent Rivers, I mean, I'll speak about in the 20 posi bracket as well. So I think Trent Rivers can bounce back and have 20 posies. The only reason I can think he had 58% time on ground last week is because he was sick. Like, there's no way your ball magnets, doesn't really matter if he butchers it, he's got to get on ground. Like, he can't have the second lowest time on ground for that team. It doesn't make sense. So I expect him to bounce back, but it's just hard because I don't know I couldn't read anything to find that he was sick. So if that is his time on ground, he's going to get around 50 to 60%. I don't like it, but obviously he's getting 16 posies in half a game of footy. So there's something there. Just, if he goes back to his normal time on ground, I think that is a great pick. Caleb Windsor, I think we got him for like 15 or 16 posies last week. He's gone up a full bracket. I do like that. Yeah, I mean, Caleb Windsor showed he can really, he can get 20 posies against Max Holmes and Bailey Smith. So yeah, don't mind Caleb Windsor. Christian Salem, who got 10 kickouts. Yeah, who got 10 posies from kickouts alone last week. So I expect Freo to pepper the scoreboard a lot at Optus, and I think Christian Salem is going to probably have 7 kicks from kickouts. Yeah, so just to get most of the way there from freebies is fantastic. So he's 1 cent off from a price I really like, so I have to include him. Trent Rivers, yeah, I'm bullish on. Andy Brayshaw, I think he hasn't had 2 poor games in a row for 22 posi brackets in like the last couple of years. I had a look. It's definitely last year, and I'm pretty sure the year before that too. But after a miss, he's always getting 22 posies or more the following week, and that's happened for the last couple of years. Also, there's no Hayden Young taking CBAs, so Andrew Brayshaw had the most CBAs, more than either of the ruckmen, more than Caleb Sarong. I think Andrew Brayshaw definitely is a candidate to bounce back. So I just could not leave that. It's happened too many times recently, like Jake Lloyd. This is just this year alone. There's someone else who also missed and then hit and looked really good. For some reason, that Jake Lloyd 8 posi game is stuck in my head. But yeah, Andrew Brayshaw, I think is going to be one of those as well. I don't think Andrew Brayshaw is going to average 14 posies for the year. I think he's going to average 25. So yeah, I think he bounces back. Salem spoke about, you can also get him for the 22. Caleb Sarong, 25. Yeah, he looked fantastic in that first game. Looked amazing. So I think he can do it. 70% hit rate last year. So out of the two, I'd much rather go Brayshaw to bounce back than Sarong to back it up. Might seem weird, but yeah, I think both of these players are going to average similar posies for the year. And so I'd much rather go the guy who I think is just going to, make up for that low posi game last week. So I feel like there's always a miss coming for a player. Like a player is never going 100% for the year in a bracket that's actually good value. So I feel like Andrew Brayshaw is just primed for that bounce back. Goal scorers, Josh Tracy for 2. I don't mind. We've seen a lot of goal scorers this year. Like last night, what was it? Norton, Fogarty. Did Darcy kick 2 in the end? I know he kicked that 1 and it was late. He was having a rough game. I know he had 2 50-meter penalties back to back. And Thilthorpe. We've seen a lot of forwards just kick bags this year. So yeah, I think Josh Tracy is fantastic to do that. That's probably who I'd really include. So yeah, anyway. All right, speaking of the Sunday bets, there's only 2 this week. So I should have them ready, but it's kind of hard to just get these picks ready when there's such shit odds. Like you saw it for the Saturday games, there was barely any to pick from. So it actually takes me a while to actually go through and find out who I want because it's really slim pickings. I haven't done the Sunday ones, but where to find them is you'll find them below in the comments of this video. I will do it at around 11 a.m. my time. Actually, I do have a bit of breathing room because the first game is 2 o'clock my time. So what I would do, I will just say roughly 11 a.m. It just gives me time to go through and get all this done because otherwise I'm just going to be behind. I'm not going to have this video uploaded before the Richmond Gold Coast game. So I'll go through. You can have a little sneak peek right now, but it also gives the bookies time to update the odds because what I had to do for Saturday or today's video, the odds are so shit Friday and then they get a little bit better Saturday morning. So me doing the video Saturday morning gives me time to just update the odds and do what I need to do for that one. But yeah, anyway, so I will update that time, update the form guide. You'll find it in the comments below. You'll get to see a form guide like this. And it should be all good. So again, thank you for everyone who liked the comment down below. It's great to see that you guys have seen it using the form guide. Again, thank you because it gives me just breathing room to get those bets sorted and not cram it all in for the video. It might, I might be a bit faster as we go through this and I can get my bets ready. But yeah, for the meantime, thank you for putting up with this solution. But yeah, that is the bets for this week. Hopefully we continue the good form. We've started off a bit rusty. A bit unlucky. I'm not going to lie. I'm rusty. I watch every game of footy. I got my fucking veins. I'm hooked onto this. My eyeballs are open for every game of footy. So it's just a bit unlucky with some of them. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much, guys. I'll get this video uploaded and Jono should be back for the video next week. We'll see how we go. But yeah, until then, peace.